Good afternoon, everyone. Coming to you live from a sun-drenched John Kurtz Field. It's time once again for Georgia College baseball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Should have a good one for you today. A ranked battle between the number 15 team in the country and the University of Southern Indiana. And your Georgia College Bobcats come in at number 6 in the nation. Non-conference play here on a Tuesday afternoon, as Southern Indiana comes into the ball game at 7-3, and for Georgia College it's 9-7. No conference play as of yet for Southern Indiana. About ready to get underway. The starting lineup for Southern Indiana: Bryce Krazan starts off. He's the center fielder. Batting next will be the shortstop Ethan Hunter, then the catcher Lucas McNew. Manny Lopez, the right fielder, hits cleanup. Then Aaron Eiler, the left fielder, bats after him. In the sixth slot is Jaden Bashirs. He'll play DH today as that first pitch comes.
Now batting shortstop, Jason Good.
So now with Saunders on first, that brings up Jason Cook, newcomer to the Bobcat lineup. Transfer from Chattahoochee Valley Community College. First delivery to him, he thinks about a bunt, takes the ball up high. Good start here for the Cats, with two outs as well. As you get the double, or a single double, and then another single to bring home a pair of runs. Swung on, this is Sky to the right side. A little bit of wind to work with. This could be trouble. The right fielder lost it. The second baseman can't get to it. It kicks down to the turf. That's going to be a hit, and that's going to bring in Jay Saunders as well. How about that? Battle in the sun, battle in the wind. And the Bobcats are now on the board with another one, 3-0.
Now batting for the Bobcats.
Saunders able to run on contact there. Showed some hustle, got all the way around to base paths on the fly to right field. And that brings up Cassius Young. So Jason Cook with what looks like a line drive in the box score. This is hit well to left field. Back and going to be dropped by the left fielder. That's going to be an error on that left fielder. Unfortunately, Eiler couldn't come up with that. It looked like it might have hit him on the heel of the glove. And it does bring home a run, however, as it is now 4-0 Georgia College here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting for the Bobcats, designated hitter, Therese Miller.
So what looked like a sure out there, a tough catch for Eiler on a sprint, but still a very catchable ball. Swung on and missed here as Miller might have helped him out with one up and out of the zone there.
Designated hitter, Therese Miller.
So Miller in the hole here, 0-1. And the delivery is swung on, foul back, and out of play. Now deep in the hole, 0-2. These guys have been hitting so fast, they haven't been able to tell you their numbers. Miller, 326, 14 hits, 10 runs scored, 3 doubles, and 10 runs batted in. The Bobcats has a team hitting 317 on the season. Southern Indiana at 281. Team ERA, though, 2.94 for Southern Indiana. Great pitching staff. For Georgia College, it's a 378, which is still something to be proud of for aluminum bats. But you get up down in those 2 numbers, under 3, that's impressive for a pitching staff. Now, Southern Indiana, out of the Great Lakes Valley Conference, we've played them twice. Once in the College World Series in 2010, and then the last time was in 2016, a neutral site ball game up near Atlanta. Throw to first, and the swing and bunt there retires Therese Miller. Looks like a 1-3 if you're scoring at home. Big inning for GC, though. Good start here as the Bobcats pick up 4 runs, on 4 hits, 1 error. They leave one out there. We got one in the books. Georgia College up 4-0 a year early. We'll be right back with some more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. All right, folks, let's get back to action here. It's the top of the second inning. Got Lopez leading off. That's going to be Manny Lopez, the right fielder for Southern Indiana.
Now batting right fielder, Manny Lopez.
First pitch to him is in there for a called strike. Try and find some numbers on Lopez. 294, 6 runs scored, and 5 runs batted in. He's got a couple of triples, so good speed from Lopez. Sizable fella in that batter's box. That's a big dude. What's the roster say on this guy? That is some. It was 6'5", 230. How about it? This one is fouled back. It's almost like Graham Hill kind of size, you know?
Not even close, Al.
All right, so, Graham, if you look at the scorebook there, you should be able to figure out who did what. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, so what do we got here? I think I got a 1-1 count. We'll see what we get from our home plate umpire. Spinner trying to figure out Manny Lopez. Check the swing. Did he hold up? Going to check with the base umpire. They say indeed he did. 2-1. At least that's what I have. We'll see if the umpire agrees. Got a little bit of wind whipping through there. Might be able to see the pants of the home plate umpire just kind of fluttering about there. 2-2. Okay. Sorry about that, sir. Thank you. Fly out. So toss in there. That's going to run the count full. So 3-2 here to Manny Lopez. Lopez from the Dominican Republic. Swings and misses, and the spinner cuts him down on strikes. First strikeout of the ball game for Brad Spinner comes of the swinging variety. And that brings up the left fielder, Aaron Eiler. Eiler, another left-hand batter. He's a good one. 409 with 9 hits, 4 runs scored, a triple, and 3 driven in. The pitch from Spinner. Swung on, lifted back behind the plate. Looks like it might be playable. Holloway, nope. Going to be Cassius Young, fading back toward the playable territory. My goodness, that almost curled back into fair ground.
Now batting designated hitter, Jaden Bashirs.
So with 2 outs here, Bashirs will step in. The designated hitter. Bashirs hitting .286. He's got 8 RBI. Swung on, hit well to third. Stays down nicely for Young. Strong throw across the diamond. And the Bobcats set him down in order here in the top of the second. Wow, good start defensively. Good start offensively. Let's see if we can add some more to this 4-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second. You listen to Georgia College Baseball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. All right, so Cam Hill will take to the plate to start off the bottom half of the second. Hill, the Bobcats center fielder, takes a look at one low and away. Looks like Partain has spent a lot of time missing low and away. Must be something on his scouting report, a lot of outside offers there. The kick in the fire, and that one bounces low. So a quick 2-0 count here for Cam Hill. Bobcats picked up 4 runs in the first on 4 hits and 1 Southern Illinois error. And trying to add to it here, taking all the way for a strike. Two and 1 now the count. Cam Hill hitting an even 300 with 15 hits, 10 runs scored, 13 RBI. Pitch taken for a strike there. We're all evened out now at 2-2. For Cam Hill. Two is a little bit away. So the count will run full here for the Bobcat center fielder. Working as a leadoff hitter here in the second inning. It'll be Hill and then back to the top of the order with Holloway. Swung on, sent to short. Tough hop there and nicely fielded by Hunter. Ground out. One down. And that brings up Austin Holloway for his second plate appearance.
Catcher, Austin Holloway.
Holloway lined out to the second baseman in his first trip. Austin from Social Circle, Georgia, and East Side High. Delivery to the plate is yanked through the left side for a single. Bobcats pick up their 5th hit of the ball game here with 1 out in the second. Hit parade continues, and it brings up Cal Gentry.
Now batting for the Bobcats, second baseman Cal Gentry.
Gentry, a ground out to second base in his first trip, the Perry, Georgia native and Perry High School grad. As the Bobcats had 2 quick outs, but then the 4 runs in the first all came with 2 outs. And that pitch misses high. It was a single, a double, a single, an error. And when the dust settled, Georgia College had a 4-0 lead after one. Good speed on first with Holloway. He'll steal the bag from time to time, so got to pay attention to him. There he goes. Cut on and fouled off. 1-1. Holloway, 4 stolen bases in as many tries. He is third on the team with that number. Bobcats have stolen 26 bases as a squad. Give you a comparison point, 13 for Southern Indiana, sorry. The Screaming Eagles. High-quality baseball program in the GLVC. Multiple World Series trips. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they won the World Series when we were in it there in 2010. They knocked us out and then finished it off. One and two the count here to Cal Gentry. The set. The pitch. Swung on. Chopped up the middle. It will get through for a single. Holloway will hold up. Looked like for a second there, Fleming might get to it. But he couldn't track it down. That bounding ball just seemed to catch speed as it went up the middle. First and second. One out for Wesley Womack. Womack got the rally going in the first with a single. Back-to-back hits here with one down. For Bobcats now, it is 6 total hits in the ball game. Lefty-lefty matchup. Cut on and missed. Womack takes a strike, or swings at a strike there. Might have been a little bit high, but probably would have caught the top part of the zone. Womack, one of the taller batters for GC. Just 6'1", but he looks a little taller than that. Set here, looked to second. Went with that curve ball, and it stayed just inside. 1-1. So an even count here, 1-1. Womack with a good hole on the left side to work with between third and short as they hold on Gentry. Kick and the fire comes in behind. What a catch there by McNew. Nicely done. As he was able to get in behind there and prevent the wild pitch. Breaking pitch was behind Womack, and McNew jumped in behind him. So 2-1 now, the count. And the pitch. Swung on. Well out in front of that one was Womack. And that evens things out at 2-2. Steady, heavy diet of breaking pitches here for Womack. He's got some good movement to it. And that one there, just tough to catch up with. About a 2-2 delivery. Runners go. Sent to the pitcher. Not going to be able to double us up, so the hit and run will wipe out the double play possibility. As the runners both advance.
First baseman Garrett Green.
And Green now at the plate. Second and third with 2 down. Green's last trip, a double with an RBI. That run batted in was his 13th of the season. Holloway on third now, and Gentry on second. Going to take a hit potentially to get him in here. Another breaking pitch. This one appears to drop off the table low. They have got Green played very shallow in center field. A lot of room to roam back there behind him if he can get underneath something. Time call there. I think that was green calling time as Partain was taking a little long for his liking. Set here. Now a 1-0. Fouled off. Garrett Green from Bogart, Georgia, transfer from USC Upstate. Spent one redshirt season there and has been a starter for the Bobcats all 4 years. Played a bunch of different positions, though. Second, third, a little bit of outfield. Was our starting DH as a freshman for a good chunk of the year. 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch stays outside again. Couldn't quite get the snap on that one to backdoor that curveball. And 2-1 now the count. Beautiful sunny day. Quite a bit on the chilly side, though, as cold front moved in a couple of days ago. And it's supposed to get colder, I think, as this week goes along. Low and inside. I think that was the fastball there, and it's 3-1. I heard a potential for snow overnight. I think about 4 a.m. The last I saw the forecast had some flurries in it for middle Georgia. That would be interesting. Big week for Bobcat Athletics. The Peach Belt Conference basketball tournament this week. 3-1 pitch is swung on and yanked foul. So that'll give me time to tell you that the Georgia College women are headed to Dahlonega to take on North Georgia, the top seed. So a tall order there as they head up to take on the Nighthawks. And then Bobcat men's hoops going to head to UNC Pembroke. It's a 4-seed, 5-seed matchup. The Bobcats are the 5. And Georgia College will play that game at 7:30 tomorrow. That's going to broadcast here in town on the FM station, 104.5 here in Milledgeville, as Scott McLeod and I are headed up tomorrow to bring you that action from Pembroke, North Carolina. Got a softball home game. Haven't had one of those in a while. That's going to be Thursday. 4 p.m. start for a doubleheader non-conference action against Newberry for Sea of Green. So hopefully you can make it over the Peeler Complex. Lifted to the right side. Long run for Perez and a dive and grab. Nicely done. That finishes off the inning. Saved at least one, probably 2 runs with that dive and stab. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. We leave 2 out there. We are 2 official now as the Bobcats lead it 4-0. We'll be right back with more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Top half of the third inning here from John Kurtz Field. 4-0 the score. Georgia College out in front. First pitch, a strike for Jacob Fleming, the second baseman. Fleming hitting .278 with 10 hits. He's got 10 runs, 5 doubles, and 5 runs batted in. Hits that one well. That could be extra bases as it gets down in front of Saunders. A strong turn here, and a strong throw from Saunders. Head first slide is just in time. First hit of the ball game for Southern Indiana, and it goes for extra bases as he plunks one down in left field. So Keister, the first baseman, up now. Number 8 hitter in the order. 171 the batting average. He's got 7 hits. Six runs scored for Keister. He's got 3 doubles and a triple, though. So 4 extra base hits among the 7. Runner on second, nobody out after the leadoff double. Comes inside with the fastball, 1-1 now. Bobcats have some early work in the bullpen. Got Chris Rowlick warming up as well as Colin Lacurdo. These midweek ball games, not sure if we're going to be breaking things up or not. Didn't get the chance to talk to Coach Eller about that. 2-1 now the count. Southern Indiana with their first threaten of the day, their first hit of the day as well. The delivery from Spinner stays high with the fastball, and it's 3-1. Keister, the second baseman, I can only make the assumption he is related to the assistant coach, Jeremy Keister, as that is a rather unique name. This one, I think a bunt fouled off. I was looking down at the coaching staff. So I got a 3-2 count here. Full count for Nathan Keister. Spinner delivers, and this one rolled to Young, so the runner won't be able to advance. High throw, and he makes the tag for the out. Nicely done, Garrett Green. Not a natural first baseman, but he looked like it right there. As Young fired high, and Green used every bit of his 6-foot frame to snag that ball, come back down, and tag Keister on the way to the bag. First out of the inning, keeps Fleming right at second base, and Kobe Stevens, the third baseman, will dig in. Kobe hitting .286 with 10 hits. As time's called, here comes head coach Jason Eller to talk things through. 8 runs scored for Kobe. He's got a double and 3 RBI. Not sure if Coach Eller has reached some sort of pitch count limit. Got Spinner at 24. He may be planning on breaking up this ball game with the pitchers, as I mentioned a moment ago, but this might just be an informational stop too. Going to come out and break things up. As the home plate umpire comes to pay a visit. All All right, a pat on the back, and now we'll get things going again. Brad Spinner going to stay out there. Runner on second is Fleming. He doubled. Since then, there's been an out. And now Kobe Stevens. Right-hand batter against the lefty Spinner. Big deep breaths from Spinner. Here comes the first offer, and for a strike. Kobe Stevens with the 0-1 just outside. Midweek non-conference action for Bobcat baseball. Appreciate you tuning in here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, lifted to center. Will it hang up there for Cook or Hill? No, it won't. Gets down, and it will score the run. Single to right center, and it makes it 4-1 as Southern Indiana is now on the board. So an RBI single for Kobe Stevens. Plates Jacob Fleming. Stevens, his fourth RBI of the young season. So back to the top of the order. Bryce Krazan up. The center fielder flew out to center field in his first trip. Krazan from Mount Vernon, Indiana, and Mount Vernon High. He's a sophomore. 6 foot 185. Pitch misses outside. So we got a 2-0. That's fouled off. And Krazan's at the dish with a 2-1 count and a runner on first base. The lefty, lots of room to work with through the right side. He's got something hanging out of the back pocket there. I think it's one of those sliding wrist guards. 1-2 the count. Toss over to first and back easily enough is the runner Stevens. Getting the jersey dirty a little bit. Southern Indiana on a spring break trip here and going to be headed to Young Harris College tomorrow. Pitch outside, and now it's 2-2. Holloway has been sharp behind the dish, cut a couple of runners down stealing. Got 3 on the season. Got 2 over the weekend, though. Runner goes. Swung on, lifted to right. Womack, battle in the sun. Oh, it is a battle, too. Look at that. As he shields it with his glove, makes the catch. That is not easy this time of day. That sun is right in the face of the right side. So Krazan flies to right. Out number 2. I don't know. Hunter, the fly to center in his lone at bat. And time called again, so that's going to be the end of the day for Brad Spinner. Ethan Hunter will face a new relief pitcher. I think he made the call for Licurdo, but we will tell you about that reliever when we come back after this brief break. Georgia College Baseball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. So the first call to the bullpen brings out Colin Lacurdo, as Georgia College will bring in their first reliever. The Innovation Station call to the bullpen. Get all your technology and accessory questions answered inside the Innovation Station located on the first floor of the Russell Library. Give them a call today at 478-445-TECH. Lacurdo making his 8th appearance. He's got a 1-0 record, a 0 ERA, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run. It was unearned, 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. Opponent's hitting just 150 against the right-hander. His first opponent will be Ethan Hunter, the shortstop, as Hunter flew to center in his lone trip. Hunter from Terre Haute, Indiana. Terre Haute South High. Looks like a sophomore, so in his second year with the Screaming Eagles. Pitch taken for a strike as Lacurdo starts off strong. Bobcats lead at 4-1 here in the top of the third. Lacurdo, long look in, delivers, low. Evened out here at 1-1. So Indiana started the inning with a double, then after a ground out, got that RBI single from Stevens. A fly out from Crescent. Now we're 1 out away from limiting the damage here. Low and away. Curto, a 4-year senior for GC Baseball, has already seen more action here this senior season in the early going than any of his first 3 campaigns. He's been very busy. Pitch taken for a strike, and we have our first Deuces Wild here at John Kurtz Field. I think the confidence level for both Lacurdo and Coach Eller in Lacurdo has increased, of course, over time. And he could be a crucial reliever for us to get some tough outs. This one, two hopper to second, Gentry to Cook. They get the runner there just barely. That was a close play, but it is out number 3 on the fielder's choice. So the top of the third comes to a close, but not before Southern Indiana scratches their first run across on a couple of hits, no errors. They leave one out there. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's Georgia College 4 and Southern Indiana 1. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we're back with Jay Saunders at the plate. First pitch was taken for a ball by the Bobcat left fielder. This one hit well to center. Going to hang up there. Wind is a bit of an issue today, though. And battling that was Krazan. He's able to get underneath it for out number one. You can see a little bit of movement fading toward right field. That's the way that the flag is just starched right now. It's actually wrapped around our pole a couple of times, sort of strung out there. Shortstop Jason Cook, first trip a single for him. First pitch swinging. He skies one to left, and it'll hold up there nicely for the left fielder Eiler for out number two. Hot shot liner there, but it was right at Eiler. And there's two down. Base is empty for Cassius Young. Young reached on an error by the left fielder Eiler in his first trip, so he's 0 for 1. Young, the Atlanta native, and Marist High grad, takes a strike there. Team leader in RBI was 16. A delivery, and it bounces off the plate. A 1-1 count here for Cash Young. Cash has started the season at second base. When we made that shuffle defensively, he moved over to third. Has been active over there. He's got a nice strong arm. 1-1 pitch. And that nips the outside corner backdoor strike balls, or backdoor curveball for a strike. It's 1-2. Couple of right-handers warming up for GC. Cash hits all of this one here. It's to left, and what a sliding grab there by Eiler. Oh, my, just barely in fair territory. Almost looked like he kind of overran it a hair. And the slide, he was able to get underneath it. So the final out of the inning. And it finishes off the third here. Georgia College, unfortunately, going in order. So 3 in the books. It's Georgia College 4 and Southern Indiana 1. We'll be right back.
Hey, Banks. Have a seat and let me make you uncomfortable. Up those grades, son, or the only position you'll be playing in college is sitting on me. You're still awake? Have a seat on old Mr. Bench. At least your buns will fall asleep.
Is this the one about the high school hotshot who gets benched in college?
Hey, Manti, move down.
It's a tearjerker!
First full inning for Colin Lacurdo means we can close the book on Brad Spinner. He goes 2 2/3 innings, gives up 3 hits and the 1 run. Picked up a strikeout, no walks. So Spinner will now watch the rest of this ball game. Probably get broken up by a few relievers. Got 2 righties warming up. Got our basketball team out there as it's Chris Rollick and Harrison Veldsma. Both these guys are up over 6'5". Rollick at 6'6", Veldsma 6'5". There it is. A couple of power forwards getting warmed up down there. Lucas McNew, the catcher, steps in here. He grounded out to short to end the first inning. Pitch in there for a strike. McNew from Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, a Borden High School grad. Freshman, first year with Southern Indiana. Swung on to the right side. Cassius Young, a sliding stop, gets in front of it and flips it over to first for out number one. Good defensive play there for, sorry, that's Cal Gentry, not Young. So Gentry comes up bases on a tough ball there. Went down to one knee on it on the slide. Was able to get leather on it and flip to first. Manny Lopez. One trip to the plate, came up empty on a strikeout. The only strikeout so far for the Screaming Eagles. And a pitch taken for a strike. Lopez patrolling right field, made a great dive and grab earlier in this ball game. We've seen some pretty good defense, just one error so far, but there has been some pretty tough plays made as well. Pitch taken for a ball. Pitch comes in, and it's taken for a strike. 1-2 here to Lopez. Set here. Lacurdo outside, and it's 2-2. Lopez standing straight up in that right-hand batter's box. A little bend to the knees now. And the 2-2 cut on a miss, and he goes down on strikes. That is out number 2 and strikeout number 2 for Lopez. First strikeout of the relief outing for Lacurdo. So now Aaron Eiler, who made that great sliding grab in the corner to end up the previous inning, comes to the plate here. A foul fly to third base as he's 0 for 1. Big cut and a miss at one in the dirt. You can see it kind of shaking his wrist there a little bit. Might have hurt his hand some, as that was a big cut. Two down, bases empty. Top of the fourth. Sky to left. Saunders on a sprint, a diving attempt. No, it's going to kick off his glove. Might be 2 bags. Throw to second is not in time, just barely. Goodness, that was a tight play there. And that'll be a double for Aaron Eiler on that. So a 2-out double. It's the second extra base hit of the ball game already for Southern Indiana. They've only got 3 total hits, but 2 of them have gone for extra bases. So Eiler on second now for Jaden Bashirs. Bashirs grounded out to third base in his first trip. Big burly designated hitter. Takes a look at a pitch for a strike. Bashirs, a senior from Evansville, Indiana, and a transfer from Olney Central. Delivery to the plate, catches the inside corner. My goodness. Lacurdo working both edges here now. Set here. Delivery to come from Lacurdo on an 0-2. Fastball away, 1-2. Got a celebrity in attendance today. You've got an alumnus and Brandon Benson in the St. Louis Cardinals organization, probably getting ready to take off and report down to Florida. See Brandon and his dad Randy down there, visiting with some former teammates' parents. Brandon, of course, the Peach Belt Conference Player of the Year and All-American. As that pitch comes in, he was hit by a pitch there. So Bashirs will go down to first base. First and second now at 2 down. So Brandon was an outstanding shortstop for us, has been an outfielder in the minor leagues last year, was up at the State College Spikes up in Pennsylvania. And we hope can make some movement there. Josh Taylor's been doing a pretty good job with the Boston Red Sox. He's on the 40-man roster there. He's made 2 appearances in the spring, and he hasn't given up a run yet. Time called as Coach Heller's going to head out there and talk things through with the entire defensive alignment here. Those 2 righties have been going for a good little while, so could make the change here if he wants to. The hit batsman for Licurdo, his second of the season. As with that sidearm delivery, sometimes you'll lose the handle on it inside on those right-hand hitters. Very animated talk here from Eller as he's letting everybody know exactly where they stand. My goodness. Not sure what he's seen, but it's something he doesn't like as he's trying to fire up the troops here in the top of the 4th. So that one-way talk has come to a complete first and second. 2 down. And the second baseman, Jacob Fleming, at the plate. Fleming a double. He scored a run, the game's first run, and only run for Southern Indiana. That came just an inning ago. Licurdo. Inside, off the fist, going to roll foul. Fleming, a senior from Evansville, and so he's a 4-year guy here with USI Baseball. Comes set here. And an 0-1 is on the way. Pitch misses low. It's 1-1. Set here from Licurdo. First and second with 2 down, trying to get out of this inning. That's a fastball up. Collins got to buckle down here. Got to think this is probably his last batter regardless, as the 2 righties appear to be ready to go. I think it might be Veldsma up next. Set from Collin. The senior delivers a 2-1 pitch off the end of the bat to Green. A flip to first? No. Going to do the foot race there as a kind of an awkward finish, but we'll take the out for sure. Out number 3 goes on the ground out to first. They get 1 hit, strand a pair, and the inning has thankfully come to a close without any runs. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Georgia College 4 and Southern Indiana 1. Be right back with more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Best of which you're capable. There's no failure. Success on 3. There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Time now for the bottom of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth. I'm trying to get ahead of myself. Speed this game along, I guess, right? But Therese Miller set to lead things off. A ground out back to the pitcher for Therese, so he's 0 for 1. Senior from McDonough, Georgia, transfer from Georgia Southern. He's in his second year with the Bobcats. Playing the DH spot today. He takes a look at one outside. Therese can play a little third, little second. Both of the corner outfield spots. Very versatile guy. And he's provided a good bat here in the early going in his senior year. Pitch taken for a strike there, and it's 1-1. Probably wishes he had that one back there. That caught a good chunk of the plate. Partain still on the mound for Southern Indiana as that pitch is low. Got him right around 50 pitches now. About 31 strikes, somewhere around that. Two-one delivery due to Miller. To the right side, up there for Perez. The sinking liner, Lopez, nicely done. Gets underneath that. He's shown a couple of pretty good flashes of leather there in right field. It was hit pretty well, and it was fading away from Lopez, but he's able to get underneath it just barely. So one down for Cameron Hill. Hill, a ground out to short in his first trip. So the freshman from Marietta will dig back in here. Lefty batter for GC. Got a total of 3 in the lineup as that one's fouled off. And him and Gentry and Womack. Couple good lefty bats to come off the pine if you need them. Of course, the lefty starter, so we'll save them for a little bit later. A couple of righties warming up for Southern Indiana. I see a number 30, I think. There's a pitch taken for a strike, and 0-2 now. Got Jordan Kelly, junior from Carbondale, Illinois. The other fellow still has his warm-up jacket on, so can't exactly tell you who that is. 0-2. And that one misses outside. Going to be a 1-2 count. Kick in the 1-2, and that nips the outside corner for a called strike 3. Just off the outside edge, it looked like from here, but too close for comfort, that's for sure. With 2 strikes, you got to at least foul that thing off. So Hill will head back to the dugout. And look at that, that's the first strikeout of the ball game for Partain. Back to the top of the order, Austin Holloway. Holloway is 1 for 2, a single in his last at bat. Skies this one. Shallow right field. Fleming back there. He's called off by Lopez. And Lopez comes up with it for out number 3. So the Cats go in order here in the 4th. We have 4 complete now. Georgia College 4 and Southern Indiana 1. We'll be right back with more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Back to action, a new inning, the 5th. Brings a new pitcher for Georgia College. As this Innovation Station call to the bullpen brings in the freshman Chris Rowlick. Rowlick making his 6th appearance. He's got a 1-1 record, a 5.91 ERA, 10 2/3 innings pitched, 10 hits against him, 8 runs, 7 of them earned, 7 walks and 7 strikeouts as well. Opponents hitting .238 against Rowlick. Rowlick is a 6'6", 215 from Marietta, Georgia, and Walton High. Third pitcher of the ball game. And that will close the book on Mr. Lacurdo. See what I can give you on his numbers. 1 1/3, he got 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Faced 6 batters. So good relief effort there for Colin Lacurdo as he turns things over to Rowlick here with a 3-run lead. 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors for GC. For Southern Indiana, it's 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. All the fireworks for GC happened in the first, got all 4 runs there. Southern Indiana answered with 1 in the 3rd, but that's it. All right, we're back to action here. Sorry about that. I had to take a brief moment. Nathan Keister, the first baseman, takes a first pitch strike. Keister is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to third base. There's a pitch taken for a strike, 0-2. So Chris Rowlick working strong ahead of the hitters here in the early going. 2 quick strikes. Rowlick waves 1 off. Here comes the 0-2. It's a fastball up. Kick and the fire, and it's sent to third. Cassius Young comes up firing, and he sends one into the dugout. That is an error on the third baseman, as he just lost the handle on that one. He tried to put a little extra on it, and Keister will be able to take the extra bag. So he will move to second base on the play. So a runner in scoring position. First error of the ball game for GC comes here in the 5th. So Keister on second. And nobody out for Kobe Stevens. Stevens has the game's only RBI for the Screaming Eagles. A single in the 3rd. Throw down to second to check the runner. It was his 4th RBI of the young season. But an RBI chance here, yet again, for the number 9 slot. Rowlick working from the stretch for the first time, and he delivers one on the outside black for a strike. Stevens from Dale, Indiana, and a transfer from Wabash Valley. He's a junior, so might be in his first season with Southern Indiana. Got a 1-1 count here as Rowlick delivers. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes another ball outside. Trying to slide that runner over to third. And trying to get that runner over to third with nobody out here. Rowlick delivers. Swung on and foul back and out of play, so no bunt there. And that'll make it a 2-2 count. Check that. Looks like it's 1-2. One and two with nobody out and a runner on second. Set here. The kick, the delivery, and it's a fastball up, 2-2. Got a big gap in left center to work with. Delivery, and it's fouled back to the fence. Going to stay alive here at 2-2. Stevens battling up there. Not ready to give up this out yet. 2-2 pitch. That's a called strike three. Fooled him on that one as he knew it. After the pitch hit the plate, you saw the head of Stevens go up to the sky a little bit. That's a called strike three. One down there. That's the first strikeout of the relief effort here for Rowlick. And it brings up Bryce Krazan, the center fielder. Krazan, a couple of flyouts, one to center and one to right. Krazan takes a strike to start off 0-1. Kick, the delivery. They got a piece of that one there as it's fouled off 0-2. Bobcats trying to get back in the win column here. After dropping the last three, all three games of the USC Aiken series. Haven't lost a Peach Belt Conference series at home in a couple of years. As Aiken took all three ball games, there's a pitch up high. Aiken, real good pitching staff. I think they're going to be making some noise in the league this year as they buzzed right through our hitters, the relievers and the starters. We had trouble getting runs across in all 3 ball games. Rowlick with the set. 1-2. Cut on a missed. And down on strikes goes Krazan. 2 strikeouts now for Rowlick, as both outs this inning have come via the strikeout. And the shortstop, Ethan Hunter, now up. He's 0 for 2, a fly to center, and then a fielder's choice that ended the third. Tried to check his swing, could not, went all the way through. Bobcats still have Veldsma warming up out in the bullpen. Another righty has joined him, as I think that's Kyle King. Tossed to second to check that runner and got him. Picked off the runner at second base. Nicely done, Chris Rowlick, as Cook comes wrapping in behind to pick off the runner. So that'll be a 1-6 to get out of the top of the 5th. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and none left. Cal Gentry set to lead things off. We'll be right back with more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke fast.
Catching up with one Randy Benson through the break there, as he's giving me the lowdown on Brandon's report time. He's taking the flight out in the morning. Pitch taken for a strike. Going to be staying with Brandon Purcell. Former teammates, 2 Bobcats rooming together in spring training for the Cardinals. Doesn't get much better than that. 0-1. Lifted and going to get down into left center. Nice piece of hitting there by Cal Gentry. Took that outside pitch and just deposited into left field. So a leadoff single here for the Cats. Puts Gentry on first for Wesley Womack. You maybe think about a stolen base here. See if you can get somebody in scoring position for Womack. You don't want to take the bat out of his hands, but Womack is 1 for 2, a single and a run scored. Last trip up was a ground out to the pitcher. Monroe, Georgia native. First pitch swinging and fouled out of play. So, Womack digs back into their left-hand batter's box. Nice big hole on the right side as they got to hold Gentry on. 0-1. Nope, going to flip it over to first. Partain set, and the 0-1. Runner stays. Going to bunt one down, and it's in foul territory. The catcher, McNew, might have actually hurt the squad there, as if that gets into fair ground. He might be able to cut down the lead runner. He was just too quick out of the crouch. Very athletic back there behind the dish, McNew. So thought about a sacrifice bunt out of one of your bigger hitters on the team there, and he can't quite get it into fair territory. Either that or McNew didn't let it get in fair territory. Flip over to first. And Gentry is back. Set here. Runner goes. Swung on, foul back and out of play. So 3 foul balls here for Womack. He's deep in the hole, 0-2. Now he's got to start thinking about at least making a productive out. Get that runner over to second base. Got 36 warming up now for Southern Indiana. As we might see a righty. That's, what do we got there? Luke Johnston, freshman. Another throw over to first as they're rightfully concerned about Cal Gentry, second on the squad in stolen bases with 5 on the year. Another flip to first, just the quick move there, almost got him. You start dividing your attention here. If you leave something over the plate to Womack, he could take it over the fence on you. Here it comes. Swung on and hit through the left side. That was right where the shortstop was, but he had to come as to second as Gentry was trying to swipe the bag. A little hit and run. And Womack scoots it right through where the shortstop used to be. Back-to-back singles. And the Bobcats are in business with runners on the corners and nobody out. And your cleanup hitter at the dish. Garrett Green doubled in his first trip. That was in the first. Drove in a run, also scored a run. Slow walk out to the mound, and they're going to take the ball away from him. So we will get a pitching change for Southern Indiana after these 2 singles. Bobcats up to 8 hits. We'll tell you about the new reliever when we come back from this break. We'll be right back. All right, we're back to action here as the Bobcat manager, Jason Eller, is out there with his lineup card as well, so we might be getting some switches for the Cats. But the change that we know about right now is the new pitcher, Luke Johnston, for Southern Indiana, 5'11", 180 freshman from Evansville, Indiana, Memorial High, as he is making his third appearance on relief. No record, a 8.10 ERA. 3 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, and 3 runs, all earned. 2 walks and a strikeout for the righty Luke Johnston. So, taking a look at the base paths, it's still the same guys there. And Garrett Green's still at the dish, so I guess we didn't make any changes. Maybe he was just learning about the reliever. As here we get back to action. Luke Johnston to face Garrett Green. Runners on the corners and nobody out. Womack on first. Garrett Green at the plate. Gentry dances off third, and the pitch bounces out in front of the dish for a ball. Cal made kind of a bluff of a run over there at third and might have distracted Johnston on the first pitch. Set here. And a 1-0. Nope, going to flip the first instead. As back on his feet is Womack. So Womack might extend that lead a little bit more over at first now. 1-0. Bluff of a run from him at first, and this one's fouled back. Womack made a couple of steps towards second. Try and get the defense moving around a little bit. Garrett Green with an RBI already today and a chance to add to that here. Bobcats picked up 4 in the first and has been very quiet since. Throw over to first again. This time Womack back on his belly, so having to get the uni dirty a little bit. Set here. And 1-1 pitch. Yeah, it bounces up there as well, and it's 2-1. Bottom of the 5th inning, about halfway through this one. GC up 4-1. Kicking the fire, there goes Womack, and a little bit of hit and run as this one fouled off. 2-2. Oh, actually going to get balk the call there. Okay. Yep, so they call a balk on the pitch there. And Gentry will come in to score on the play. It's 5-0 Bobcats. Or 5-1 Bobcats, sorry. So Womack now at second. Green squares to bunt, takes a ball, and going to be a 3-2. Okay, so 3-1. As that pitch there that was wiped off the foul ball. Three-one pitch, and that one's inside for ball 4. So Green heads down to first. Brings up Jay Saunders.
Now batting for the Bobcats, left
First and
fielder,
second
Jay Saunders.
with nobody out. Saunders 1 for 2. He's got an RBI single. That came in the first, and then a fly to center. Saunders up to 11 RBI here in his freshman campaign. Gets a bunt down, but foul. 0-1. Trying to get this sacrifice down, get these two runners in scoring position for Jason Cook on deck. So Johnston with a long look in here, and he steps off the rubber, going to regroup. First baseman Keister is very close, as he's got to cover a lot of ground there. The 0-1 is put down by Saunders and bobbled by the pitcher as he tried to make a play before he actually had the ball. So that's going to be an error on the pitcher. And that will load him up. We are all loaded up with Bobcats now for Jason Cook. Kick and fire to Cook. Comes in on the hip. Going to be a hit batsman. So the Brews, with the bases loaded, will drive in a run. And as it is now 6-1. Head coach comes out of the dugout for Southern Indiana. So that might be the end of Mr. Johnston's day, as Tracy Archuleta has taken the ball from Johnston. So he will head to the dugout. We will have a new pitcher. We'll tell you about that new pitcher when we come back from this break.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Okay, folks, loaded up with nobody out. As my alarm goes off on my phone here. Sorry about that, folks. All right, so loaded up with one out. Georgia College up 6-1 here. New pitcher for Southern Indiana is Peter Whistle. Whistle wears number 38. He is making his third appearance of the season, as the wind has really picked up here at Kurtz Field. The flag just fluttering around out there. Yep, the flagpole's even on the move. My goodness. First pitch, a ball here to Cassius Young, and he swings at the second one. Rolls it to short, to second, on to first for two. Double play. Bobcats bring a run across on a double play ball. Got a pinch hitter here for GC as Bryce Bowen will take to the dish.
Pinch hitting for the Bobcats, number 42, Bryce Bowen.
So he pinch hits for Miller. To take on Whistle, so he might probably stay in there at DH, I would imagine. Bowen does a little bit of pitching, but also has played in the DH spot, a little bit of first base as well. First pitch was swung on a miss by Bowen. Puts the second one in play. Pitcher gets in the way, and, geez, what am I going to do there? That's a tough one, bouncing in between the two guys. Not sure if the pitcher made contact with it. It was a bare hand attempt there. I think we got to go infield single, guys. We're going to go a hit for Bowen as it drives in a run. So Bowen at first now for Cameron Hill. And the score up to 8-1, Georgia College. Set here. Here it comes, and Hill lines one down the line. It catches the chalk, and it'll roll down into the bullpen. It's going to be extra bases for the Bobcats as Bowen checks into third, Cam Hill into second.
Now batting for the Bobcats, catcher, Austin Holloway.
Okay, folks. All right, trying to figure out my scorebook here. We send our ninth guy to the plate in the inning. After the Hill double down the left field line, puts runners on second and third. Holloway at the plate. He is 1 for 3. His last trip, a fly out to right before they had a single. Single here would plate a pair. Georgia College up 8-1. There's a ball taken there, and it's 2-0 for the sophomore. Set. Pitch to Holloway, taken all the way right down the gut for a strike. 2-1. Look in here for Whistle as he tries to find the final out of the inning. Swung on and missed, and might have helped him out there, but deuces wild here. John Kurtzfield went with the high fastball, and Holloway couldn't catch up to it. 2-2 the pitch. Set to come from Whistle. And here it comes. 2-2 is fouled back and out of play. Holloway stays alive, spoiling one there. Couple more warm-up tosses here. Got two righties warming up for Southern Indiana, but they both have their coats on still, so we don't know exactly who that is. Came inside, almost caught him, but the curveball snapped just away from Holloway. And the count runs full here. Payoff pitch here to Holloway. Swung on, hit well, left center. That's going to get down for a single. That's going to plate 2. It is now 10-1. Georgia College on top. 2-run single from Austin Holloway.
Now batting second baseman, Cal Gentry.
So now the Bobcats have officially batted around after the 2-run single there by Holloway. He is up to 9 RBI on the season. And here comes Cal Gentry. He started the inning with a single, came around to score. First pitch swinging, he flares this foul to the left side. Might be playable. That's the third baseman, Stevens, and he is able to grab it for out number 3. But a big inning for the Cats as they put 6 runs across. How'd they do it? 5 hits and 1 error. They leave one out there. 5 in the books now. Georgia College all over this one, 10-1. We'll be right back with more on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
Technologies, careers, society. It is impossible to predict the future. The jobs of tomorrow may not even exist today. At Georgia College, you will learn to be a critical thinker, to develop new ideas and out-of-the-box solutions, because those are the kind of lifelong skills you'll need in a rapidly changing world. The way we see it, it's not really about what you know. It's about how you think. Georgia College, your public liberal arts university.
Okay, folks, we get back to action here with Ethan Hunter, the shortstop, to lead things off. Got a defensive change. No new players, but a couple of folks have shifted around out there as Cassius Young moves from third to first, and Garrett Green will go back to third base. So I guess that last error for Young was enough for Coach Eller, and we'll put the taller man over there at first base instead. Makes sense to me. Hunter 0 for 2. He was at the plate when the final run came on the pickoff. Missed a pitch there. I think it was a ball. We'll go 2-1. I did not see a swing, so I don't think it was a strike. Kick and a fire here on a 2-1. Right back at Rowett. Catches him in the hip. Ball kicks over toward third, and he's not going to be able to make a play. That hurt Rowett pretty good. Yeah, cold day like today. I mean, that's not going to feel good on a good day, but cold day like today makes that a little extra. So the hit right back to the pitcher, and Hunter is on first base, but I can't think that Rowett is going to be able to continue. That was right on the hip of the big man. And graduate assistant David Youngblood taking a look at things there. Want to say hello to Lisa Benson back at home listening in. It is sunny, but it's a beautiful day is a relative term, as it is rather cold out here. I'm sure your husband and son can tell you exactly how chilly it is. Brandon's probably getting excited about playing in Florida as opposed to this type of weather here. My goodness. So Rowett still working on trying to keep the strength there. Does he have the? Maybe it was a knee. Because now it looks like they're looking at the. Yeah, it looks like they're looking at the plant foot. I thought it hit the front hip, but I guess maybe it hit like a calf or.
Yeah, probably in the shin.
So Rowlick is grimacing a bunch, and we're going to get some warm-up tosses, see what the big fella can do. He continues to flex that right leg. That is that plant leg for him. Obviously, it's the plant and push-off leg, so it's a big one. So a couple of tosses here. So Rowlick throwing these warm-up tosses. If he stays in, he'll have that runner on first base. That was the fourth hit of the ball game. And it looks like, yes, he is going to tough it out. Wow. When that hit off him, I thought for sure he was done. This is Lucas McNew, the catcher now. A couple of ground outs for McNew today.
Now batting catcher, Lucas McNew.
Hunter, the shortstop at first base. He's got a couple of steals on the season in 3 tries. Foul back and out of play here by McNew. Rowlick waves off a couple. He's got the one he wants now, and the 0-1 on the way, and that bounces in the left-hand batter's box. Bobcats get active in the bullpen. Got a couple of seniors, Perry Keith and Harrison Veldsma. Veldsma's been warming up off and on since about the 3rd inning or so, so I got to think he'd be up first. 1-1 pitch, and that's dropped in there for a strike, 1-2. Nobody out. Runner on first. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and lined right at Gentry. Can he double him up? Yes, he can. 2 quick outs on the liner right at Cal Gentry.
Now batting right fielder, Manny Lopez.
So that wipes the bases clean. And brings up Manny Lopez with 2 outs. Lopez is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Looking to make some contact here as he takes on Rowlick for the first time. And Lopez has faced 2 different pitchers today. He had Spinner and then took on Lacurdo in those 2 strikeouts. Not many strikeouts overall for the pitching staff, as that's a swing and strike there. Just 3 total. But each one of the 3 pitchers we've had today owns one of them. Check that. We got 4 strikeouts, and Rowlick has 2. Cut on a missed, and now he's got 3. So that is out number 3 here, the 3rd strikeout for Rowlick as he comes off that scary-looking liner right back at him and looked pretty sharp over the rest of that inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, none left. We will go to the bottom of the 6th. Bobcats up 10-1. Stick around. Welcome back, Bobcat fans. Got bottom half of the sixth on the way. Womack, Green, and Saunders due up, and they'll be taking on a new pitcher as Jordan Kelly grabs the baseball for his second appearance. No record, no ERA. Tossed 1 inning, gave up 1 hit and 1 walk, and fanned a pair. Right-hander will work against Womack here. Womack is 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, couple of runs scored. So a nice full box score for West today. First pitch misses there. Make that a ball. Swung on and sent. Gonna get, no, not gonna get up the middle. Shortstop flips and fires. Oh my goodness, Hunter spinning around out there. The whirling dervish of Ethan Hunter, as he covered a ton of ground, was on the outfield grass, flipped around, and made a blind throw that was right on the money.
Now batting first baseman, Garrett Green.
So Garrett Green at the plate now with 1 down and the base is empty. Green, 1 hit in 2 official trips. He's got a double, an RBI, 2 runs scored. Ten to 1 the score here in the bottom of the 6th. Bounces up there, and 2-0 now the count. Rock and the fire, and it's flipped foul back behind us, 2-1. Two and one with 1 down. Rock and the pitch. Up and in. Did it catch him? Nope. Able to limbo out of the way of that one. Almost caught him up around the chin. Take another look at that one as the fastball comes up and in on Garrett Green. Back to live action as a pitch goes high here for Garrett, and he will earn the walk. So Garrett Green checks in at first base. Jay Saunders at the plate. So Jay Saunders up there. I got him 1 for 3. And this now 2 hits as he rockets one down into the corner for extra bases. Throw comes in, and holding up at third is Garrett Green on a double by Jay Saunders. Jumped all over that first pitch to send it down the right field line.
Now batting shortstop, Jason Cook.
So second and third now for Jason Cook as the 12th hit of the ball game for GC. 1 down for Cook. Cook last trip up got hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, drove in a run with that. He's up to, let's see, looks like 9 RBI now on the season. Came up and in on him, and it's a 1-1 count. Cook with a run scored to go with those 2 RBI. 1 for 2 officially. Singled way back in the first. Gets a bunt down here, and that will plate another run. The throw to first is in plenty of time. So the sacrifice bunt, a little safety squeeze to make it 11-1.
Now batting third baseman, Cassius Young.
So that'll bring up Cassius Young. 10 RBIs now on the season for Cook. Young last trip up there hit into a double play. And the first pitch to him misses for a ball. Looks like I got him at 0 for 3 today. So that one misses inside. 2-0. McNew has been very active back there behind the plate. Freshman catcher. And he looks like he could be a good one. Set here, and the 1-1 pitch is rolled to third. Got to come up quick with it. Did they get him? Yes, they did. Stevens to Keister for out number 3. And it ends the 6th. Georgia College picks up a run on, looks like just one hit. No errors. And they leave one more out there. Bobcats lead this thing now 11-1 after 6. We'll be back with the top of the 7th from here at John Kurtz Field.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Okay, folks, top of the 7th. Georgia College in control here, 10-1 or 11-1. Sorry. Going to get a new pitcher for Georgia College. It'll be the 4th of the ball game for GC. As Harrison Veldsma checks in. Veldsma on the season, making his 5th appearance, a 0-1 record at 10.64 ERA. 11 innings pitched, 19 hits, 15 runs, 13 of them earned, 6 walks and 10 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .365 against the senior from Marietta, Georgia. And the first pitch misses for a ball there. As Veldsma, 6'5", 225, a transfer from Georgia Perimeter. Has been with us for 3 years. I know he redshirted one season with an injury and was a big piece of the success last year. Weekend starter for GC. That pitch misses outside, 3-0. Or a weekday starter, should say. Going to be a middle-of-the-week guy, and then we used him a bunch in the postseason as well. That pitch in there for a strike. Got you for a 3-1 count. This is Eiler at the plate. Eiler is 1 for 2 with a double and a fly out. And that's ball 4 up and away. So Eiler will work himself a walk. As Jaden Bashirs now will step up. The designated hitter is 0 for 2, actually 0 for 1. Sorry, got hit by a pitch in the 4th. Bashirs grounded out to 3rd in the 2nd. Veldsma delivers and pours a strike in there. Good to see after that walk. The kick and the fire, and that nabs the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-2. Way ahead here, lots of options. Goes outside with the fastball. Bashirs does an offer at it, and it's 1-2. Set here, and the 1-2 pitch, and that one bounces. 2-2 now. So we've got runner on first with nobody out. And a 2-2 count for Bashirs. Double barrel action in the Bobcat bullpen. Got Bowen and Perry Keith warming up. 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball up and away, 3-2. Bowen is in the game right now as a designated hitter, so if they use him, that would wipe the DH off the table, which is unique, but not completely unheard of. That would mean the pitchers would have to bat for the rest of the ball game. Payoff pitch. Swung on a miss. And down on strikes goes Bashirs for out number 1. First strikeout for Veldsma. And it brings up Fleming, the second baseman. Jacob Fleming is 1 for 2, a double, a run scored, and also a ground out to first base. Bobcats up 11-1. And that grabs the low inside corner for a strike. As after the walk, he has worked ahead of each of the last 2 guys with first pitch strikes. Wide open stance for Fleming. The pitch. Thinks about a bunt, pulls it back, takes a ball. Got that awkward time of the day where there are shadows across the part of the infield, so you have the pitcher in sun, and then the ball comes in and out of the shadows of the pine trees as it comes to the plate. Difficult view here for the hitters as that fastball comes up and in. It's 2-1. Because there's still a decent amount of sun around the plate. Again, as the sun is in the middle of setting. It's also going to be difficult for the right side of the infield. Here comes head coach Jason Eller. Didn't like those last couple of deliveries, so going to talk things through with Harrison. Got a couple of options out there for Georgia College. I think it's Perry Keith has been warming up the longer of the 2. So, yep, so Keith might be the first option. It is a righty batter as well, with, I believe, another righty on deck, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I believe Keister was a righty. Long conversation here for Coach Eller as they're trying to work through some things defensively. That's going to get broken up by the umpire here in just a sec. All right, so Veldsman's still out there for the time being. No innovation station call to the bullpen. So the next 3 hitters would all be right-handers if you're thinking matchups-wise for GC baseball. 2-1 to count. Veldsman waves off one and now brings the pitch to the plate. Bounces in the left-hand batter's box. So 3-1 here to Fleming. Set here. Veldsma. Here it comes. Outside ball 4. So that'll push Eiler into scoring position over at second. Veldsma with a walk, a strikeout, and now another walk. So I guess that means he's due for a strikeout, right? Nathan Keister, the first baseman, up. He's 0 for 2. Grounder the third, and then also reached on an error. Set here. Look to second. The toss to the plate. It's a fastball up high. Time called as here comes Kane Keith, so I believe that's going to be the end of the outing for Veldsma. We will get a new pitcher. My guess would be Keith because he's been warming up longer. So, yes, Kane comes out there to call in his younger brother, Perry. And we'll take a brief break, tell you all about the younger Mr. Keith in just a moment.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Back to action here as the Bobcats go to the innovation station call to the bullpen once again. Going to have Perry Keith check in, the senior from LaGrange, Georgia. Delivers the first offer here, so that's going to be a 2-0 count now for Keister. as Perry has pitched well here in his senior campaign. Making his 8th appearance, a 1-0 record, 6.48 on the ERA, and there's a pitch taken for a strike. 8 in the third innings pitched, 8 hits against him, 6 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .267. Swung on, sent to short. Cook to second for 1, on to first. A one-hopper. Did Young get it? Yes, he did. He wasn't real sure he got it. He came off the bag, and he's looking around for the ball for a fraction of a second, but instead it's hanging out in the mitt. So that's, what do we got, 6-4-3. And that finishes off the inning. Bobcats get through the top of the 7th without giving up any runs. Stretch time here at John Kurtz Field as we move on to the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to Georgia College Baseball on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. All right, folks, back to it here, and the designated hitter, Bryce Bowen, takes a wave at that first one. Bowen came in the 5th and hit a ground ball to the left side that caught a couple of in-between hops and ended up being an infield single. 1-1 the count for Bowen. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning. Georgia College up 11-1. Kick and the fire, and this one's chopped to second base, and it kicks off of Fleming, so that's going to be an error on the second baseman. So that puts Bowen on first base once again.
Now batting center fielder.
And brings up the center fielder, Cam Hill. Hill I got is 1 for 3 with a double.
I think I've ever seen a kickoff that's not even the batter spots yet.
Okay.
That's 1 strike though.
0-1 now. Cam up at the plate. Bobcat center fielder. Trying to get things going here with Bowen over at first. Went outside to him. It's 1-1. Coach Eller over in the third base coach's box. He's got his lineup card out. We might be expecting some changes here soon. That's a fastball up and away. 2-1 now. As Hill looks for his second hit of the day. The righty warming up for Southern Indiana. Looks like the early stages of warm up for him. We see him. That's number 27. That'd be his first action of the year. This one lined right back up the middle, and it will get through for a single. So we may see Sam Mudd before too much longer. Bowen checks into second base. And we're back to the top of the order now for Austin Holloway. Holloway is
Austin Holloway.
1 for 3. Last trip up there. I'll check that. I think I got him for 2 hits. Got a couple of RBIs. Had a pretty full day. That first pitch misses for a ball. Got a pinch hitter on deck for GC. Eric Furphy has grabbed a War Club. May see him pinch hit. 1-0 pitch, and that's on the outside black. We got a 1-1 count for Austin Holloway. Holloway, the Bobcat catcher. Crowds have played a little bit. Has an open stance, though. He comes set, so does Kelly. The 1-2 offer, or 1-1 offer, sorry, as it's rolled to short. And did that hit the runner? Not sure what the call is. The base umpire is pointing at third base. And Bowen went all the way around the bases there and eventually came in to score. The coach for Southern Indiana is out there talking to the base umpire, so I'm not sure. Okay, looks like it stands as now a run scored, but now the umpires are going to talk this out. Graham, can you take the music down a little bit so they can talk about it? So we got Eric Furphy at the dish right now and potentially another run across. It looks like we might get a change to that. Okay, so we're going to say he did not get hit by the ball. So in that case, geez, that shortstop was shielded on the play. Is that an error? Bounced underneath. Okay, we're going to go a single there through the left side. I got to look that one up. I think if you get shielded by a base runner, then you don't charge the error. Okay, so do that. Sorry, we're trying to figure all this out here, folks. We'll get back to action in just a moment. All right, so we got 12-1 now the score. A pinch hitter for GC is Eric Furphy. And he's taking a look at a couple of errant tosses here. Okay, so I think we're caught up. There we go. All right, so Furphy at the plate. First pinch hitter of the ball game for Georgia College. He's a 154 hitter, 2 hits, 3 runs scored, and looking for his first RBI of the year. Swung on Sky to the right side. And Bermuda Triangle out there looks like Lopez calls everybody off for the out. So that's 1 down as Hill and Holloway do not advance. All right, so Shane Conahan will now pinch hit for Wesley Womack as we continue to work the bench a little bit. So Conahan bats. Check. Okay, folks, sorry about the troubles there. I had a bad cord, I guess. I'm not sure. Trying to figure out what the heck happened, but I lost my audio there for a little bit, and I swapped out one cord, and now we appear to be working again. Guys, are you getting levels from me back there? Okay. All right, I think all I missed during the time frame that I was gone was a walk to Shane Conahan that loaded up the bases. Again, Conahan pinch hit for, that was Womack. 1-1 pitch is Sky to the right side. That's going to be deep enough to score a run. As Lopez grabs that, the sacrifice fly brings in Cam Hill. So that's going to make it 13-1. Georgia College in front.
Now batting left fielder Jay Saunders.
Okay, so Jay Saunders is at the plate now with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Saunders has been busy today with at least 1 hit. Lost track of some things there, so we're just going to move forward from here. Moultrie, Georgia native, and in his second year with Georgia College, but first year of counting action here as he redshirted this season. Had such a great summer in the Wooden Bat League up near Atlanta there, and that has carried over to some hot hitting here as a rookie. Got a couple pretty good options for PBC Freshman of the Year. This guy and Cam Hill are 2 real strong freshmen. Lifted to right, going to test Lopez again, battles the sun, but we'll get to that one as well. He has looked real sharp in right field. And that is the final out of the inning. The Bobcats pick up 1 more run, looks like. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left. It is now 7 complete. Georgia College up 13-1. We'll be right back. All right, folks, sorry about the silence there for a little bit. Had to shuffle a couple of pieces up around here in the staffing-wise. We lost my PA guy, so we had to move some pieces around. All right, so back to action here. We got Bryce Bowen on the mound. That means we've wiped off the DH. And pitchers will bat for themselves for the remainder of the ball game. Remainder of the ball game's just 2 more innings potentially here. 13-1 the score, Georgia College out in front. Got a pinch hitter for Southern Indiana. As 26 Adam North gets his first trip to the plate. Fouls that one off, and that allows me some time to find his numbers for you. North, 1 for 1 on the season with runs scored and an RBI. That was pretty simple. Pinch hit once and scored a run, also drove in a run. So 1-2 the count here. Bowen on the mound. Got Hunter over at first base with 2 outs. Got a pop out, then a walk. This one swung on and missed. The tag applied, and that ends the inning. So the strikeout for North ends the frame here. We will head to the bottom of the 8th as the Bobcats lead 13-1. We'll be right back. Okay, folks, back to action here. Got a new pitcher and a new batter for both teams making some substitutions here. The first pitch comes from the right hand of Sam Mudd, the freshman from Louisville, Kentucky, and St. Xavier High. He's taking on Casey Brown, the pinch hitter for the Bobcats. Let's see, Mudd making his first collegiate appearance right here. And that one fouled back. So we got a 2-1 count for Brown. Brown on the season here is 7 hits. He's batting 200 even. 6 runs scored, a home run, and 8 RBI. 2-1 pitch is up and in for a 3-1 count. Casey Brown, of course, from Rincon, Georgia. Skies this one back behind the plate. Will it get out of play? Yes, it will. So foul ball there. Full count now for Casey Brown. Transfer from South Georgia State College. Of course, he's one of 2 on the Georgia College roster from that junior college, is Bradley Kamak, the senior. Must have played 1 season there with Casey. Takes a look at one, up and away, and that is ball 4. So Casey Brown with a leadoff walk. And that brings up Will Hudgens, another pinch hitter. Hudgens pinch hits for Cassius Young, so we'll probably stay in there at first base. The Bobcats emptying out the bench a little bit. A couple arms warming up in the bullpen as well. Might see a new pitcher next inning. We'll see. Pitch bounces up there for Hudgens, 1-0. Will, the senior from Dunwoody, Georgia. 242 batting average, 8 hits, 5 runs scored, and 6 RBI. Transfer from Georgia Southern. Kick and the fire, and it's fouled back to the fence, 1-1. How's the beard coming back in for Will? Oh, man. He had such a good one at the beginning of the year. It's doing okay. It's doing okay. I wonder if he might not have shaved again. I'm not sure. But anyway, he had a great beard at the beginning of the year, and then had a deal with Coach Eller, the whole team did, that if we lost 2 games in a row, that the whole team would have to shave. And sure enough, we did against Tampa. And back to the locker room everybody goes for the shave in between the games of the doubleheader. So that's the story of that. I wonder if losing 2 games in a row against Aiken, do we have to shave again? I'm curious. Runner bluffs a go over at first, and it's fouled off. Still 1-2. Brown, a little bit over there at first. Not too much to speak of. The delivery to the plate, it bounces off the plate for a ball. 2-2. Set here from Mudd. A 2-2 pitch on the way. And it's in there for a strike, called strike 3. Catcher drops the ball, but it doesn't matter because first base is occupied. So Hudgens goes down on strikes, and that brings up the pitcher, Bryce Bowen.
Your pitcher, Bryce Bowen.
Bowen on the year, a 250 hitter. He does have 1 at bat already in this ball game as he pinch hit for the designated hitter, Therese Miller. Fouled off behind us. That's an 0-1 count. Got Noah Mendlinger on deck. He'll see his first at bat. Oh, no, check that. That's going to be Matthew Chester. I'm sorry. Matthew Chester on deck. Looks like we'll get another pinch hitter there for GC. So Chester set to bat. I think is that Hill's slot, I believe. Swung on, skied to left. Going to hang up there. And that's Eiler to grab that one for the out. 2 down. And Bowen retreats to first. So here comes another pinch hitter. Cam Hill's day is done as we bring in Matthew Chester.
Now pinch hitting for the Bobcats, number 36.
The Bobcat freshman.
Matthew Chester.
Chester is 3 hits and 10 at-bats, 3 runs scored, a double, looking for his first RBI of the year. Chester from Evans, Georgia, and Greenbrier High, to get the opportunity to meet his father after the recent series. And mentioned that listens to the broadcast, so hello to Mr. Chester back at home in Evans if you aren't here today. 1-0 the count. Brown over at first. They've got Chester pretty much straight away in the outfield, although a little on the shallow side. Cut on and missed, and that'll even things out at 1-1. So Chester digs back into that right-hand batter's box. They're not holding Brown over at first. Playing behind him is Keister. This is fouled back to the fence, 1-2. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Georgia College looking good here at 13-1 against the number 15 team in the country in Southern Indiana. Some stumbles early for GC put us at 9-7 as we've fallen out of the top 25 in the NCBWA rankings. This one is skied to right, and that will be caught by Lopez. Hit well, but right at him, and that is out number 3. So the 8th inning has come to a close. We will move on to the 9th. As due up is the right fielder Lopez, who just made that last catch. We'll be right back with that action here on the Bobcat Broadcast Network.
We're here.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
All right, Bobcat fans, got some defensive replacements, all sorts of fun stuff going on here. I'm just going to reset the defense. Got Saunders in left, Conahan in center, and Matthew Chester in right. And Casey Brown playing third base for the first time ever that I've known. Eric Furphy moves over to short. Garrett Green going to play second base with Will Hudgens at first. Noah Mendlinger behind the plate, and the new pitcher is Connor Wilson. So we got changes all over the place. I don't think anybody stayed in the same spot from last inning, except for Saunders and left. I think he's the only one. Foul back to the fence, and Lopez. Let's see what I can get for you on Connor Wilson. Making his fourth appearance, a 5.40 ERA, no record. And inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Opponent's hitting .333 against the senior. Swung on Sky to right. Back there is Chester to the fence, and it's off the fence. Matthew was battling the wall there and a little bit of wind. This looks like it's going to be 3 bags for Lopez. Standing up, how about that? A stand-up triple to start off the 9th. So that rattled off the fence. Good speed from him as he coasts into third base with the triple. It's the 5th hit of the ball game for Southern Indiana, sorry. Eiler is at the plate now, the left fielder. Doing battle here with Wilson, trying to scratch across the second run of the game for the Screaming Eagles. That one's outside. Wilson still working from the stretch with the runner on third. Got a lefty warming up for GC. That is 33, Jacob Hester, if we end up using him. Wild pitch kicks away, and that will allow the run to score. So it is now 13-2, Georgia College with the lead after the wild pitch. Yeah, I think you're right, Will. I think that might have been the first wild pitch of the day. We had a couple of errant tosses, but I just can't think of any of them advancing runners. It's been some good work by the catchers from both sides. There's a pitcher there called for a strike. It's 2-1. But yeah, I think you're right, bud. I think that's the first wild pitch of the day. Eiler, the lefty batter, got him set up on the outside. We'll see what they do here. Too much plate as it's lifted to right. Chester gets tested again. This time he comes up with it for out number 1. So 1 down for the designated hitter, Jaden Bashirs. Bashirs, the DH today. Strong-looking slugger in that right-hand batter's box. Bashirs came into the ballgame second on the team in RBI with 8. And a strike to start him off. Bashirs, Ethan Hunter is just about Mr. Everything offensively for this squad. He's got 20 RBI. The next closest guy is 8 as a called strike there. But Hunter leads them in runs driven in. He leads them in home runs and triples. Leads them in hits overall. A little bit of everything for the shortstop. He's a special one. 0-2, and the fastball stays high. It'll be 1-2. Wilson looking for the strikeout here. Set here. 2-2 pitch, and that's outside. Going to go back to the fence. Is that 2-2? I think it's 2-2 now. So we got a 2-2 count here with 1 out. Bashirs fouls this one back and out of play. It'll stay 2-2. Connor Wilson, Bobcat senior in his second year with Georgia College. transfer from West Georgia Tech, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is where Eric Furphy came from as well. No, he came from Wake Tech. Swung on and missed, and down on strikes. Connor Wilson picking up the strikeout. Whiff number 3 of his senior campaign. And that brings up Jacob Fleming, the second baseman. And the last out here for the Screaming Eagles. Fleming, the righty, against the righty Wilson. Wide open stance. Fleming's got the back foot all the way on the back chalk. Takes a slider, it looks like, there for a strike. So 0-1 to start there. Set, pitch, and it's hit well. Going to get down into left field for at least a single. Strong turn there from Fleming, and he will hold up. So a single dropped into left field. Keeps the ball game going. Got 6 hits now for Southern Indiana. And Keister, the first baseman, up at the plate. With the runner on first. Kick and the fire to him, and it's lined right at new second baseman Garrett Green for out number 3. So that is the final out of the ball game. The Bobcats pick up the victory 13-2. As Georgia College will improve now to 10-7 on the year. Southern Indiana falls to 7-4. Let's see, the winning pitcher, because we broke up the game, it goes to the most effective reliever, and that's going to be Chris Rowlick. So Rowlick will pick up the win there, and he improves to 2-1 on the year. The loss will go to Partain, the starter, and he falls to 1-2. No save, of course, in the big ball game there. Looking at a couple of folks, your Zaxby's player of the game, we will give to, how about Austin Holloway? Yeah, he's got 3 hits. Yeah, he's the only one with 3 hits on the squad. So let's go with Austin Holloway, 3 for 5 with 3 RBI. Good work there from the Bobcat catcher. And that is your Zaxby's player of the game. 13 runs on 14 hits, 1 error for GC. For Southern Indiana, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors. Another Bobcat victory. We're back on track there with the wins. That's a big one against the number 15 team in the country. Okay, so coming up next on the Bobcat Broadcast Network is going to be Thursday, a 4 p.m. start for softball against Newberry. So we'll have that action for you then. The next baseball broadcast, let's take a look here. Going to have to go a bit in the future. North Georgia on March 15th. So that is your next baseball broadcast on the Bobcat Broadcast Network. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, folks. Sorry for a couple of technical issues and things like that I had up here. These midweek games are always tricky as we're a little short-staffed. But Bobcat win nonetheless, and good news there. Folks, everyone, thank you for tuning in and have a great night.